Alright guys, welcome back to another scientific rankings video. In this video, I want to talk about how to analyze the keyword competition. So you can use SEMrush to see which keywords to target, what your competitors are up to, and everything like that. And it's super cool for that. But how do you actually determine whether or not a keyword is worth targeting? How do you determine if it's just too competitive to enter? Well, this mostly is relevant to affiliate SEOs, legion SEOs, and generally people that are building sites for themselves. If you're a client SEO, you don't really need to know this too much aside from targeting really big competitive national keywords. But on a local level, you should very easily be able to rank for most terms, presuming you charge your client enough. So if you want to rank for personal injury lawyer, like Vancouver, an example, then you're going to want to charge the client a good few $1,000s per month because it is quite competitive. Either way, you should watch this anyway. It'll give you a good idea how to analyze competition and give you a good idea of how much you should be charging if you want to go after these big keywords. So let's dive straight into it. So what I recommend using as metrics is citation flow and trust flow. I just tend to find that the most reliable metrics in my personal experience. Some people say completely different things, but I generally find that citation flow and trust flow, that's Majestic metrics, are the most reliable metrics for calculating the power that a domain has from links. So let's give you guys an example here. I just went ahead and immediately just checked a keyword. And what I did is I listed the top 10 results that come up, and I put in their trust flow and I put in the citation flow of all of these sites. Now, looking at this, it may be a little bit confusing or overwhelming and stuff to decide is this a good keyword? How do you actually know just looking at these numbers? But I want to give you a little bit deeper knowledge, a little bit deeper look into what we're looking at right here. One thing I want to add is that the fourth result has NA trust flow and NA citation flow, and that is because it's Amazon and it's ranking a really deep subpage, so it doesn't really have any links directly pointing to it, but obviously it does have large authority going to it anyway because it's Amazon.com, so it has a lot of root domain authority right there. So moving on to the next slide here, what I checked up next is the referring domains of each of these websites. So the number one website has 21 referring domains. That means it has 21 referring domains and it has a trust flow of 11 and a citation flow of 28. Now going to the next slide, the second ranking website, they have 4 referring domains, 13 trust flow and 29 citation flow. So it may be a little bit confusing as to why they're ranking second. In this niche and these results that I checked here, I'm pretty sure that some people there, if not most of them, are using PBNs. So what you need to look for really when you see that there's a very few referring domains, such as the second domain, is do they have either PBN links that are hidden so you can't see them, so they don't show up, or do they have a lot of root domain power? If they have a lot of root domain power, then again, that's going to explain it, like Amazon, where they have 0 links pointing to that page and very low metrics on it, but they actually do have really high metrics in reality because it all comes from the root domain. So this is the sort of stuff we're looking at. I like to look at the trust flow, the citation flow, and the referring domains. So make sure, this is just a reminder here, make sure that you're checking if a site has hidden links. If it does, then check more sites. Yes, maybe you can't check the number 1, number 2 ranking sites, but you can check the 3rd one, the 4th one, the 5th one, or whatever else to get you an idea of what it's going to take to get onto the first page, and then you can kind of guess from there and just really test with it. There's no real science or anything like this. One thing I really like to check, and I mentioned it briefly before, is referring domains. Referring domains are incredible for understanding the power behind a domain. The reason being, guys, is that these metric tools are very, very easily manipulated with very few links. If you point one link at a site, you can very easily get it a trust flow 30 as an example, or citation flow 30, because it's one good link. When you have 300 plus referring domains and the trust flow is still 30, or in this example it says 25, that is much more worrying, that is much more competitive than a site that has, say, 3 or 4 referring domains with a trust flow of 30. In this case, the trust flow is 30 on the latter example, but it's still less competitive because it only has 4 referring domains versus one that has 300 referring domains and the trust flow is still very high at 25. Now, if it has 300 referring domains and the trust flow is 10, then it's probably just really spammy and probably not that competitive to beat, presuming you don't have hidden links. Whereas when it has a high trust flow of like 25 plus 300 plus referring domains, like trust flow 25 isn't that competitive, it's not that high. But when you include that it has 300 referring domains to get it to that level, and it's still keeping such a high trust flow, then it does become competitive. So I like to look at referring domains, and I like to look at the trust flow, and I like to look at the citation flow. But you're probably wondering, like, but what do I actually look for? Is there like a certain trust flow, a certain citation flow, and a certain number of referring domains that if I just hit this right perfect amount, then I can be ranked for every single term in the world? Is there any like exact number that this is high competition, this is low competition, and whatever else? Well, guys, in terms of what to actually look for, I have a really ugly answer that you probably don't want to hear, and it's that I don't know. I honestly have no idea what you should be looking for. See, what you can compete for entirely depends on how big your PBN is. And honestly, there's no simple calculation for knowing like PBN power. You can't just say, okay, my PBN has a trust flow of 28 and the citation flow is 30. You can't say, okay, based on that and based on these other 10 PBN sites that have these other metrics, if I point 8 of these links at this site, then it's going to receive this trust flow, and then it's going to rank. Like, firstly, you need to understand that trust flow, citation flow, DA, PA, all these metrics that these different tools create, they're not Google. They're just third-party tools that are trying to calculate the same sort of things that Google looks at. So it's impossible to get like an accurate description of how much power is going to flow, aside from like hacking into Google servers and trying to figure out how exactly the algorithm works, which you can do maybe if you like, but I'm not suggesting or endorsing that, and I don't think that's a very good approach of trying to build your business. So there's no simple calculation or anything you do. There is no like sexy, simple, easy answer here. The solution really, guys, and again, this isn't really like a great solution, but the solution here, guys, is to start building links and see what happens. That's not exactly a great solution many people want to hear, but that's generally how people rank. They just start building up links and they just see what happens from there. So here's a few examples though. I don't want to just leave it at that because you're probably like gonna hate me and think this is the worst training ever. So obviously you want to look at the trust flow, obviously you want to look at the citation flow and referring domains, but it's very difficult to see exactly how many links you need of certain metrics or anything to rank it. It's just, there's no science or anything like that. It comes down to just start building links and just seeing how much movement you're getting out of that. But there is a way to really make sure you're not wasting your time. So here's a few examples to really portray that point. So the keyword plumbers London, I did a quick keyword analysis check of it, and the number one ranked site has trust flow 27, citation flow 38, and referring domains 343. That's a lot of referring domains considering the citation flow is 38. So it definitely has a lot of power there. And then the second ranked site had trust flow 9, citation flow 19, and 9 referring domains. And then the third site had 40, 31, and 71. So what immediately stood out to me when I checked this is that the site ranking number 2 is an anomaly. It's very weird that all the other sites, or at least just quick check anyway, had way more referring domains, way better metrics, and are ranking like below them even. So it's kind of weird that they're ranking so well with that. So that's an anomaly. I wouldn't count that as a standard result. I'd kind of look past that when I was checking. It's not good to look at one single site and say, oh, they're ranking easily with these metrics when all the other ones have way better ones. I look at the general like bigger picture of what all the sites have. These guys could have hidden links or anything like that, which we mentioned before as one of the things that you need to watch out for. So if you're just starting out, my verdict for this keyword is stay away. Avoid this keyword. This is way too competitive for someone that's just starting out. Don't go towards this. Now, you can rank for this. Like, it's not impossible to rank for a keyword like this, but it is competitive, and it's not something I'd recommend someone just starting out going after. So let me explain quickly why. Well, without getting into too technical and everything like that, basically, guys, it comes down to the citation flow, the trust flow, and your referring domains, calculating them all up together. So the trust flow of the first site is 27. The trust flow of the third site is 40. And referring domains on the first one is 343. So firstly, I'd I would be very unsure if you could even outrank the first site without a lot of PBNs, a lot of power going in there. As for the third site, it still looks pretty damn competitive with a trust flow of 40 and citation flow of 31. So the amount of referring domains there on both of those sites, I just wouldn't feel confident going up against it without building like a decent 100 plus site PBN. In this example here, again guys, 100 plus site PBN, that comes down to the metrics. If you're buying really good domains where you're spending $200, $300 a domain, you probably won't need 100 plus PBNs. It just depends on the metrics that you're going to use. But for like weak domains, which is what most people are using today, then yeah, you probably want 100 plus PBNs. So if you're just starting out, this is just way too competitive. If you're not just starting out, then the best way to do it is just to start building links and see how it moves. And if you think you can build a big enough PBN, if you already have a big enough PBN to rank for it, then you start building the links, you see how much it moves, and then you keep building the links accordingly. So if you're just starting out though, like the verdict is like avoid this keyword, it's too competitive. Here's another one. Greenwich is an area in London, so Plumbers Greenwich, which I figured would be less competitive. So the first 4 sites I skipped out. I think it was because they all had like zero trust flow and stuff, but it wasn't really accurate or all like directory sites, which is actually a good sign when it's like low competition areas. It means that directory sites are just ranking really, really easily, purely based on their domain authority. So I skipped all the way down to 5th, 6th, and 7th sites, which give you a good idea anyway of how competitive it is to go onto the first page. So the first site here had trust flow of 2, citation flow of 18, free referring domains. The second one had trust flow of 3, citation flow of 15, referring domains 1. And the last one had trust flow 0, citation flow 26, and referring domains 12, which means that it has some links probably from directories that just aren't very good quality. So looking at this, if you wanted to get onto the first page, if you wanted to like beat the site at number 5, like do you think you could very, very easily outrank them? If you had a network of 10, 15 sites at your disposal, do you think you could pretty easily outrank these? Heck, even with just on-page SEO, you probably could do this. So the verdict for this one is easy. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't do more competitive than this. What I recommend is that you find keywords that you can definitely rank for easily when you're starting out. Like guys, there's a lot of money to be made, and this is for people that are building their own properties. A lot of money to be made in long tail or low competition keywords that are very, very high end. So this example, plumbers, maybe not the greatest leads. You can get even more specific than this, but if you find something that's really, really high end and low competition, you can rank for that and make good money. Versus trying to rank for Plumbers London when you're just starting out, yes, you're going to get way more leads out of it. But here's the thing, guys, you could probably rank for 10 sites like Plumbers Greenwich and Plumbers in different areas like that easier than you could rank for Plumbers London, like definitely easier. So I'd recommend going for really easy, low competition ones, at least when you're first starting out, and then progressing up. So you can go for something like Plumbers London later. It's not too competitive if you really want to get that keyword, but it is competitive for someone just starting out. And the biggest mistake I see people make when they do the rank and rent model, when they do affiliate SEO, when they do anything involving building their own sites, they usually go for keywords that are just too competitive. So I recommend looking at ones, finding them that are just really easy, that you look at it and think, I can definitely beat that, like this Plumbers Greenwich keywords, and then going after that, because you just know like for certain that you can definitely rank for it. Now I know the search volume is kind of low on this keyword if you checked it. I didn't actually check it, I'm just presuming it is based on my knowledge of this area. But still, you're still going to get leads if you were selling like the leads or anything or ranking it out. You're still going to get leads from this, and I'm sure you could pretty easily rent a site like this out to some business that was actually based in this area. It just makes sense to them. So that verdict was easy. You can definitely rank for that keyword. Pretty much anyone watching this video, I'm sure you could rank for this if you actually really wanted to. And then this one was a different one. So this is, rather than local, I wanted to check like something like an affiliate site would rank for. So I apologize if I'm out in someone's niche or anything here, but it just came up when I was doing some basic research for putting together examples. So the keyword here is best fixed blade knife. And the site ranking number 1 has a trust flow of 11, a citation flow of 28, and referring domains 21. The second site has a trust flow of 13, a citation flow of 29, referring domains 4. And the third site has trust flow of 7, citation flow of 30, and referring domains of just 1. So this one, I wasn't that sure. Based on checking just 3 of them, I wouldn't be confident I'd check more results, because what's interesting is that the trust flow on all these 3 sites here are very low, like 11, 13, 7. The trust flow is very, very low, which means, yes, they have a higher citation flow and nearer 30, but it means that the links aren't really that good. They're just not that trusted links if the trust flow is so low. So I'd be pretty confident that I personally could beat this very easily. Now, the other thing to take into account too is obviously the referring domains first. Like, the referring domains aren't massively high, 2141. Pretty simple. I'm pretty sure the second and third results are on a sub page, not the home page. Not entirely sure, I can't really remember now based off memory, but I think they were, which explains why they have so few links. So again, that's something you want to investigate a little bit further to see how big the root domain is. But I would be worried that there's hidden PBN links going on here. It's just like a niche that people are going to use PBNs in. So I would check a lot more results on this just to double check and see what everyone else is up to. I'd see if I can find any hidden PBNs, because if you can, it's a good indicator of how many they're pointing if you can find them. And I just do a little bit more investigating in this. So my verdict for this keyword is undecided, which you guys probably don't want to hear, but it's undecided because I don't know if they had hidden links or anything like that, and I didn't do enough research for you guys to really show that. But generally speaking, like looking at these metrics here, I know I could definitely beat this keyword. It just comes down to if they have a lot of hidden links. If they have a lot of hidden links, then it may be a lot more competitive than it really appears. But based on these metrics alone, if this was 100% accurate right here, what we're looking at, then this isn't very competitive. I wouldn't say it's easy like the local keyword, but it's like a medium competition term for like an average SEO. So again, your SEO skill, like people say, what's an average competition? Like that doesn't mean anything. Like if you have a 10,000 site PBN, average competition to you is going to be a lot higher than someone that has a 50 site PBN. That's all just opinions, really. So I think this is kind of average competition for like an average SEO, a medium competition for an average SEO. So I think most people can get this. But again, for this sort of keyword, based on the results we're looking at now, I'll do some more research to make sure that there's no hidden stuff going on. So another reason that's undecided, guys, is that all sites are sub-pages, even the first one. So aside from hidden links, which I totally forgot by this point, but yeah, there's hidden links as well, but also all the sites that were ranked are sub-pages. They're pages on the website, not the root, not the home page. So what you need to do from there is basically just check the root domain and see how much authority that has. If they have thousands of backlinks going to the root domain, they have a lot of power going in there as well. And also I look at some more competitors. If there's any competitors ranking with just a homepage, it can be a good indicator there. But look at the root domain and just check more competition. It's extremely hard to know for certainty like what is required to rank for certain keywords. Extremely hard, guys. We can't just look at these little metrics here. We can't just do a little competition analysis and say, okay, based on their trust flow of 28 and their citation flow of 32 and 28 backlinks, that means that we need to have exactly 7.84 links with a trust flow. Like, it's just no like exact formula or anything, guys. I wish I could give it to you. I wish that I could just say like, hey, here's the formula you need to use to work out the competition. Unfortunately, I can't. That is not how SEO works. The trick is, guys, and I think I mentioned this earlier, the trick is to focus on keywords that you can dominate with certainty. So if you don't think that you have enough PBNs to rank for a keyword, and you don't have the money to build up the PBNs or rent the PBN links to rank for a keyword, then don't start targeting that keyword. Whereas if you look at a keyword and think, I can easily crush this keyword, then go after it. So the plumber's granites one was a perfect example. If you're trying to rank a local ranking rent site, a local lead gen site or anything like that, this keyword would be absolutely easy for even a total beginner SEO just to go out there and just to crush within a few short months. So look at keywords that you can definitely beat with your resources, and that's really my advice for keyword research. So looking at the trust flow, looking at the citation flow, looking at referring domains, and then just looking at it, I think, can I beat this? So a citation flow of 18 and 3 referring domains and a trust flow of 2, which is really, really low. And guys, if you don't know what these metrics mean yet, then go through some more of the videos and it's going to explain it in a lot more detail. As well as if you look at the PBN training, we go through exactly what to look for in buying domains. So you're going to get a lot more detail there if you go through that. So if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about when I'm going through this, then probably shouldn't have wasted so much time watching this video so far. But yeah, if you look at the other videos in the course, it's going to explain a lot more detail for you there. But basically, guys, find a keyword that is extremely easy to dominate in your opinion based on this research of what the competitors are doing, and then the ugly answer is just start building links to the site. Like, build out the site, start adding links, and don't stop until the site is ranked. That's pretty much all there is to it. When I enter a new niche, I look at the competitors and think, can I outrank these? Do I have the money to outrank them? And not only that, like, I can put together the money, but is the site going to make me enough money to generate that return? And it's kind of difficult to work it out. Like, you don't really know, but I could look at this keyword, say Plumbers Greenwich, and I'm pretty sure if you had 15 PBN links going to this that are of average sort of quality to domains, like these sort of average that people are selling today, brokers and stuff, then I'm pretty sure you could rank for this keyword with some good on-page SEO. Probably way less than that, but like, just over exaggerate it. I'm pretty sure with 15 links you could rank for this keyword. So that's how you really do it, and then you just start building the links up until you rank. That's kind of my approach to this, is just thinking if I can rank for it easily, overestimating what I need, and then just seeing like, hey, if I go out there and buy 15 PBN sites or set up 15 PBN sites to rank for this keyword, would it be worth it in terms of the ROI and everything like that I think I can get from this? But that's really my approach to it. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing pretty. But guys, my basic philosophy is that you can rank for basically anything if you have the right budget. It's not really anything that fancy to this. You just build up some PBN links, just building links of any type, to be honest. But building links and having good on-page SEO, and you're going to rank. So it comes down to the budget you have available. So I pick niches and do the keyword research based on the trust flow, the citation flow, the referring domains, based on ones that I think I can easily beat with the budget I have available to me. And that is really how I approach it. If you're looking at a niche that has a high trust flow, high citation flow, and high referring domains, then just charge them a buttload of money to account for how much effort you're going to go into, because there's niches out there that you can charge someone $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for, and it's not massively competitive to rank for. It just comes down to which niches you're in. So if you're in a niche where they're making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 for a single sale, then it's probably going to be quite low competition, firstly. And secondly, it's going to be really, really easy to get them their ROI. You don't need a massive amount of traffic for a sale like that. Alright, I hope that answers your questions on keyword research, on keyword competition. I can answer some more later, I can add some notes below this video, but really that's kind of my process to it. There's no science. I know people really hate that. Everyone really wants like this simple answer that is like, just look at these exact numbers and here's the formula for it. Unfortunately there isn't, but ultimately pick niches, pick keywords that you know you can definitely beat, and then just keep building links until you get ranked. As soon as you start building links, you're going to see how much it moves and how effective those links are. And then at that point, you can say, hey, I need to like buy some more PBN links. I need to rent some more links. But you're going to get a better idea when you actually start building links. But you can do some research initially to see what the competitors have. And then it all comes down to predictions. And the predictions I like to make is, what can I easily dominate versus, I hope I can make this. It doesn't look too competitive. So I like to look at it and think, I can easily crush this and target high-end niches ultimately, which is where all the money is made. But anyway, I hope that video helps, guys. This is pretty much how I'm doing keyword competition analysis today. And that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.